Welcome to your presentation about color theory. The lesson objectives are to demonstrate an understanding of the concepts of color theory by learning how artists and designers categorize and apply colors according to color schemes, and showing how the relationships between colors are dependent on the color wheel. You're also learning to demonstrate the ability to identify and paint the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, and as well as arrange them into various color schemes. Color theory is applied in all types of art and design. Color theory is thought of in drawings and paintings, photography, sculpture, ceramics, graphic design, clothing design. Why care about color though? Well, color is amazing. You can do amazing things with color. It makes your work look so much more interesting, and artists use color in different ways. So color is dependent on the electromagnetic spectrum. This is a series of wavelengths, and our eyes have evolved to only see these types of wavelengths, which we call visible light. It's very interesting. So color is technically an energy wavelength that our eyes are sensitive to on the electromagnetic spectrum. Color technically does not exist. We only see color because of light. So what is color theory? It's the science and art of using color. Technically, it's a collection of rules and guidelines which artists and designers use. This includes color mixing, knowing about color relationships, and how colors visually affect each other. And it's not just artists and designers. Filmmakers think about color as well. So what can you do with color? You can set a mood. You can attract attention, which is why stop signs are red. If stop signs were not red, we may not see them as easily. Make a statement. And change the feeling of a physical space. Think about the interior of your bedroom. What colors do you use? What colors do you see? What colors do you see in a dentist's office or a doctor's office? So why care about color? Over 80% of visual information that we see, such as TV commercials, advertisements, apps, they relate to color. You can identify different products and you associate them because of color. Color is also part of a social learning process with significant symbolism within different cultures. So we understand, right? Taste the Rainbow, Skittles candy. These brands use a lot of yellow. And in Asian cultures, red has a different significance than it does in American culture. So there are different effects of color. Color has psychological effects in that the colors are associated with ideas, like green means organic, white means purity. Color has aesthetic effects. This means what looks harmonious to us in our eyes, such as that hair color looks cool, right? You probably have certain color preferences versus someone else. Color also has visual effects. As I said before, stop signs are red because red as a color advances from other colors, and we usually see this first. Now, when you think about ancient sculpture of Egypt, Rome, Greece, they actually were colored. When we see them now, they're usually white, just not very colorful, because the color, the paint, has chipped away, it has faded over time. So no, the sculptures were not just totally blank. They actually had color. So what is a color wheel? It's a visual tool used by artists and designers for arranging colors due to their hue, color relationships, and how colors mix. Artists, they don't really look at a color wheel every single time they work with color, but it's something they're aware of when they're deciding on colors and how they want to organize their colors in their artwork. There are 3 properties of color. The first one is hue. This is the name of the color. The second one is intensity. This is the brightness or dullness of a color. And you can actually change the intensity of your photos on your phone by changing the saturation. High saturation is bright colors. Desaturation means there's less colors and they look more dull. Bright colors, high intensity. Dull colors, low intensity. Another property of color is value. This is the lightness or darkness of a color. Yes, black and white are considered different values with gray in the middle, but other colors have a light color and a dark color. But we organize value using three terms: tints, shades, and tones. Tint is white plus color. This is when you want to make your color lighter. Shade is color plus black. By adding black, you're making your color darker. And tone is color plus gray. This is when you're making your color more dull, more desaturated, less intense. Now, this artist explored value in their sculpture by spray painting all of the forms gold, but depending on the lighting, some parts look lighter, some parts look darker. We can also see the use of value of color in these two examples. So what are color schemes? It's an arrangement or group of colors, often based on how the colors relate to each other according to the color wheel. So once you understand the color wheel, these color schemes will make more sense. So the first color scheme are called primary colors. These can be mixed to create all other colors except black and white. You cannot create blue by mixing colors. You can't create yellow or red. You have to buy them from the store. So the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. Secondary colors, they are created by mixing two primary colors. Now these you can mix using your own paint. You can also buy these colors from the store. So to create purple or violet, we mix red and blue. To create green, we mix blue and yellow. And to create orange, we mix yellow and red. Orange, green, and violet, also known as purple. I'll be using these terms interchangeably. As you can see, the secondary colors fit in between the primary colors on a color wheel. But we keep going. Then there are tertiary color schemes. Tertiary colors are created by mixing a primary color and a secondary color next to each other on the color wheel. They have to be next to each other. So you can see in this example, when you mix yellow and orange together, you get yellow-orange. When you mix red and violet, you get red-violet. When you mix blue and green, you get blue-green. Luckily, the names of the colors are easy to remember. And you can see how the tertiary colors fit in between the primary and secondary colors. This is a completed color wheel. Now let's go on and learn about color harmonies and other color schemes. So complementary colors. These are two colors across from each other on the color wheel. All colors on a color wheel have a complement. Orange is across from blue, red is across from green, and yellow is across from violet. And you can see how they're used in different examples. Now, the purpose of complementary colors is they create contrast. When they're placed next to each other, they create high contrast and appear brighter. Remember, contrast is a principle of design. Now, this is different than what you think looks good together. When you combine the complementary colors together, they actually lose intensity and you produce a neutral color. It's a color usually more like some type of brown. So do tertiary colors have a complement? Yes, they do. So this would be a red-violet. What's across from red-violet is yellow-green. This is red-orange. What's across from red-orange is blue-green. So tertiary colors do have a complement. Analogous colors. These are 3 to 4 colors next to each other on the color wheel. You see this a lot in clothing and in interior design and in movies as well. The purpose of analogous colors is the color transitions in our brain make sense, right? The colors are next to each other on the color wheel. It's a great way to create unity. There's just something similar between them. Now, monochromatic color scheme. This is using tints, tones, and shades of one color in an artwork. Mono means one, chroma means color. So you're just using one color in an artwork, but you're changing the value and intensity of that color. We can see this often in clothing as well as in interior design. The purpose of monochromatic color scheme is it's simple and clean. It has unity due to the one color. There's only one. So in this example here of this interior design, yes, there are some neutral beiges and whites, but a lot of the color is this kind of dull blue-green color. There's a lot of it, and it creates a sense of unity, and it's very calm. Now, really cool thing to know is there's this company called Pantone. They produce paint and pigment, and every year they declare a color of the year. And you can see some of the examples from the past years. And you can see a few more there. So the chosen color is meant to represent and inspire the mood for the year. Designers really pay attention to this because this is where color trends come from. Like, what are the popular colors that you're going to see during that season? Designers often refer to the color of the year when they're planning their products and advertisements. We even see it in clothing. This was an example in 2024 with the peach fuzz color, and it was showing up on the red carpet worn by these celebrities. So the Pantone color of the year actually started in the year 2000. It uses the Pantone matching system. And as I said, designers use that chosen color in fashion, marketing, weddings, home decor, tech gadgets, florists even look at it. Brands also look at this color for inspiration. And did you know that in the industries that are shaped by color, these are the industries that really look at the color trends, like what colors are a lot of people wearing? Fashion is the most shaped by color. Then it's home decor, cosmetics, and interior design. So Pantone, in 2025, the Pantone color of the year was Mocha Mousse. And Pantone said Mocha Mousse is a warming blue-brown hue imbued with richness, and it nurtures us with its suggestion of the delectable qualities of chocolate and coffee, answering our desire for comfort. Right? It's kind of like a coffee color. In 2022, Pantone's color of the year was Very Peri, they called it the happiest and warmest of all the blue hues. It's meant to symbolize transition and new possibilities. Now, this isn't a rule. This is just something that designers look at during that year. In 2023, it was the color Viva Magenta. It's brave and fearless and a pulsating color whose exuberance promotes a joyous and optimistic celebration, writing a new narrative. Let's go back to our color schemes. Warm and cool colors. These are easy to remember because we actually really visually associate these colors to the idea of what is warm and what is cool. So we can look at color as having a temperature, being warm or cool. So warm colors, they suggest vividness and energy, and they tend to advance in the visual space. What we mean by advance is we see warm colors first. This is why stop signs are red. And this is why often during the fall, the trees that have red foliage tend to really stand out. Cool colors, they give an impression of calm, coolness, and they create a soothing feeling. Think of water. Water is blue, right? It has a blue-green color. We often see warm and cool colors being used a lot in video game design. And neutral colors. Neutral colors are muted shades that appear to lack color, sometimes called earth tones. These are your browns, your beiges, your pale white colors. Neutral colors are used a lot in interior design because they do create a sense of calm. Color is amazing.